Well, happy Rhythmic Groove Friday to you guys. I know it's been a minute since I've been on, maybe about 4 or 5 days. Just been chilling, um, staying at home, healing up, and also getting some good reading on, studying on. So I want to come to you guys this Rhythmic Groove Friday with the concept of double stops. And the main thing I want to talk about today, real quick, is the third double stops. Okay, double stops add a lot of flavor to your playing, and they are intervals. We have different intervals on our guitars that we can use as double stops. We can use 6 intervals as double stops. We can use major thirds, and then we can use minor thirds as double stops also. I'm going to talk about the minor and the major double stops, minor and major thirds as double stops today, okay? In that little example I was playing through, utilize minor third and major third double stops. Now you might also hear in the YouTube educational arena, since there's so many terminologies and so many people just showing, teaching really good principles, but to some of us regular homegrown players like myself, sometimes those terminologies, since we haven't been to the school of academia on guitar studies, can be far-fetched, and maybe we might not even know what they're talking about because it's way with the terminology. So I want to throw a term out here for you guys in case you guys have heard it before and might have not wrapped your head around the concept. And the term you might hear every now and then is called a dyad. Okay, a dyad is simply a double stop. They're the same thing, but in the educational arena, they might be called a dyad, or maybe you picked up some type of guitar theory book or something that had a dyad in it, and you were like, you never did wrap your head around it, but it's the same thing. It's the same thing as double stop. So what I was playing there is I'm going to show 2 simple kind of principles, or just 2 simple forms of double stops or dyads. Okay, and they're going to be the minor third dyad and then the major third dyad. I'm going to be using the second and third string, so that B string and that and also that G string. Okay, a lot of times for us players, if you're playing in a group setting, these higher strings are going to be very valuable to you, especially with these, utilizing the triads up here, because you want to put a little rhythm. You don't want to use those bass notes if you already got a bass player, right? Okay, so that would be a major, right? So we are a minor. We'd be doing at a minor there, okay? So if we are going from, say for example, your first form will be on the B, and then the B string, and then the G string on the 12th fret. If you just cover those two with like your pinky finger, those two instruments, and slide in, you have a major third double stop. Okay, so you can slide into that. That's your double stop. Okay, then you would slide, when you would do a slide like that, that will be a minor third double stop. Okay, so really the difference, you can tell the difference between a major double stop and a minor double stop, because your major double stops are going to be adjacent. Okay, they're going to be on those two strings. Now, on different string sets, they can be formed a little bit different. So I don't want to confuse anybody of that. But we're just focusing on the B string and the G string. So on the B string and the G string, if I'm at that 12th fret, that's a major third double stop. Now if I slide into that, that will be on my B string on the 15th fret and my G string on the 16th fret. That's going to be a minor third double stop. So the form will be is that you're going to have they're going to be not up and down perpendicular to each other. They're going to be on that slant angle, right? So you're going to have that's how you're going to be able to tell that's a minor third interval, because you're going to be a half step apart from each other, okay, or right next to each other, right? Okay, that's going to be a minor third. And you can slide that up. That's another minor third. And you're going to be right there on your B string on your 13th fret, and then your G string on your 14th fret. That's going to give you another minor third. And that's the form of a minor third on those two string sets. Then we go back to that 12th fret, you're on a major third double stop. So you can play around with that a little bit, and just know that if you're on those two string sets, you can play around. You're up and down next to each other if you do that, and that will actually, if you look at it, okay, in another sense, you can form a major triad by adding that fourth string, okay, that D string, and then you have a major triad, okay, that D string, that G string, and that B string on the 12th fret. is going to actually give you a major triad, right? So it's going to give you that G, because the middle is going to be that G string is going to be your root, okay? And then your fifth is going to be that on that D. That D is going to be your fifth. And then your third is going to be that B, okay? And so that straight across is giving you that major triad. And how you know that's your major third, your major third double spot, because that's formed out of that major triad. Same if we go back down to that minor third on the B string on the 13th fret, and then your G string on the 14th fret. Okay, if we were to add that D string on the 14th fret, we would have a minor triad, okay? And that minor triad, the root of that is actually going to be on that G string on the 14th fret. So we got an A. That's going to be a root. That's going to be an A minor, okay, triad. That's going to be that A minor triad is going to form out of your D string 14th fret, G string 14th fret, and then your B string 13th fret. Root is going to be on that root is going to be right there on that 14th fret of that G string. Now, the theory behind it is that my minor third is coming out of that triad. So we have the root is on our G string 14th fret. The fifth is coming off of the D string, okay, on the 14th fret, okay. So that's going to be an E, okay. And then your flat third is coming off that B string 13th fret, which is your C. That's going to be a flat third. So that's where you're getting that minor third double stop, okay? So if we were to pivot between those two, you got a nice little double stop there. You got a minor double stop, minor double stop, and then a major double stop. Okay, and so those are a couple of principles on thirds. I will come back a little more later, maybe this weekend a little bit, talk about some more double stops. But that's a little, if you want to get more deeper into it, really focus on your triads on the first 3 sets of strings. Even, you can really add in the first 4 sets of strings. Remember, it's your double stops are going to come out of those. Okay, those are 2 principles of third major and minor third double stops. So, hey guys, I hope you guys have a blessed rest of your weekend. Get some guitar playing in if you can. Also, make sure that you shed some love to a neighbor or friend. And hey, just have a blessed weekend. All right, peace out.